Hello, 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 OG land. This is Steve Martin calling in from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, in my home office here. Just really honored and privileged to be on the Millionaire Mentorship call for April 1st, 2018. Ladies and gentlemen, wow, this is amazing. First quarter of 2018 in the books, and we are now on to the second quarter of 2018. And I can tell you right now that I'm excited. It's been an amazing start to the 2018 season. We've had some amazing experiences. We've had some amazing results, and we've been sharing those results and those experiences with people all around the world. And I can honestly tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that it has really been something big. I mean, I say it all the time that big things are coming inside of Organo. And, you know, you being on the call here today, you know that the value that you get from these calls, you know, it's been 10 years, you know, I can honestly say that for my wife and I, Rhonda, my wife Rhonda and I, we have been involved inside of this business called Organo. In the beginning, it was called Organo Gold for no less than 10 years. This will be 10 years, 2018. And it truly has been an experience that has impacted not only our lives over the last 10 years, but I truly believe that it's something that's going to be of impact for generations to come. I mean, decades and decades to come. You know, our children have grown up inside of this business. We've grown as people inside of this business. You know, we've learned from the amazing leadership, from the amazing examples of success that we've been privileged enough to be part of. And it really is, you know, a great honor again, just to be asked to spend, you know, a quick, you know, 60 minutes, you know, 1 hour of your time every Sunday with you on the call live, you know, just to simply share with you some strategies and some techniques and some instructions that we have actually used over the last 10 years to create millions and millions of dollars in sales inside of this business that we call Organo. And it's even getting better. You know, as Holton Buggs often says, and I love the way he speaks, it's getting gooder and gooder. And I love the way Edwin Haynes speaks about it as well. He says that you know, things just keep getting gooder and gooder. And we got a new format here. I mean, this is the 5th week now, I believe, the 5th week that we've actually been coming to you live in person for us to be able to literally see each other, talk to each other, and just really feel the energy that we have. And we now have this new platform, this new Zoom platform that you may be on live or you may be listening to later on when the replay comes up on Monday following the, you know, the days to come. And this is a great thing about this, ladies and gentlemen, is that, you know, we have all of these calls, not only the Zoom calls that we have today being recorded for your convenience so that you can listen to them over and over and over again. I love doing that. That's a key to part of our success in this business, ladies and gentlemen, is that we have always followed the leadership to success. And that is what we do, is that when I have time, and I actually schedule time for this, I always listen to the call live. If I can't make it live, I also listen to it on the replays, and I go back and I listen to 1 or 2 other calls. Because when you have an opportunity to spend, you know, upwards of 30 to 60 minutes listening to people that are out doing the things, living the life, and willing to share with you step-by-step instructions on how you can get things done inside of your business, it's really quite amazing. And that's why I really love this brand new format. I mean, we've got so many different ways to connect these days, you know, through social media, and Organo is tied to every one of those for your convenience. However it is that you like to stay connected to the world, to your teams, whether you're just getting started by yourself or you're just, you know, you've got a big team that you're in the business with, and you're just simply sharing with them, you know, more effective ways to stay in connection. You know, it no longer is an excuse, a valid excuse why you cannot be with your people or by your people or connected to the people that are inside of the business with you, because there is so many, you know, so many social media platforms that you can use to share and to stay connected with. And you know, what I love about this is that, you know, we have an amazing website. And you know, we have the organogold.com website, which is your self-replicating website where you can get into your back office and you can take a look at at your entire business in a snapshot. You know, I really like to call it a management system for my business. It shows me who's in the business, who's working in the business, what they're doing, where they are, what they're doing, and what we can continue to keep doing together. And then inside of that back office access, we also have what we call My OG Academy. So that would be myogacademy.com. And at that site, you now have the availability to actually, you know, to plug into these calls every week, every day, every hour, wherever, whatever time, whenever you can make the time to make this happen. I strongly suggest, because this call, ladies and gentlemen, this call that we have here has been going on for over 10 years. 10 years Organo has been in business. 10 years we've been sharing this information with you week after week, and that has always been Sunday evening, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm in Mountain Standard Time right now, which is 7 p.m. Sunday evening. And today, you know, today being a special day that it is, it's April 1st. It's also Easter, you know, Easter Sunday, as we say, depending on where you are around the world, how you believe, what you believe in. You know, a large majority of the population where I'm from and where we do a lot of our business actually celebrate the Easter, you know, the Easter holidays. In fact, our kids are out of school right now. We've had some amazing time with them to be able to just to, you know, spend some family time and really grow as a family inside of this. But today is a special day, and it's and I'm excited to be able to come onto the call here today because it's very family oriented day, and we really like to just get together with you as a family and to share with you some simple strategies, some things that you know. One thing that I've always learned about this business is that it doesn't take big things. It doesn't take massive amount of experience. It doesn't take a great talent for you to actually dominate inside of this business if you have the right desire to go forward and to follow a simple system of success. You know, inside of our OG Academy, we have you know, amazing other links that you can get to, that being the OG Radio, where you can get in, you know, again, you can get back to the Millionaire mentorship calls that are here and archived ever since the beginning of time. We've also got our business and product calls that are actually the same format every Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. We actually get together, and there's going to be another you know, special guest speaker who is going to be on Mondays, and they're going to be speaking about the product, the business, a little bit about both, whatever that might be. And we've been doing that for a number of weeks right now. You can also get into those calls. They are live, like we're speaking right now, and you can take a look at those, stop and start as you need to. And you know, what I love to do is, you know, a lot of times I'm talking to people on our team, and they tell me, look, I got a full-time job, because, you know, in the network marketing industry, which we're all part of, most of the network marketing professionals in this business, meaning that people that make money inside of this business, it's not their only source of income. A lot of people have other sources of income, and they're doing network marketing as an additional stream of income part-time from home. Well, what you can do in your part-time is you can focus your attention on looking at, listening to, and studying the right people inside the business. And what better platform is there out there right now than actually to be able to speak with, you know, and have these conversations with people that are actually inside the business with you. So in my opinion, you know, everybody inside of Organo is your partner. We are your partners in this business, whether you're just started or you've been in the business for some time now. We are actually very excited and very motivated for you to become more than you are today, if that's what you want to do. We're very excited to celebrate your successes inside this business, and we're willing to put that action out every day for you to be able to follow a simple system of success and follow that leadership to success. And of course, you know, Organo is connected to Twitter. We've got our OGA Facebook page, of course, Instagram, Pinterest, you know, YouTube channel, and also on LinkedIn. So, I mean, no matter where it is or how you like to communicate or stay connected professionally, we have an option for you. And of course, Facebook is one that we're all connected with, you know, very, very effective source for us to be able to speak with you and share. And what I really encourage you to do, ladies and gentlemen, is as you're using the social media platforms, as you're spending some of your time, investing some of your time during the day, that you're connected to these social media platforms, share some of your experiences. I can honestly tell you over the last 10 years that we've been involved in this business, one thing that stands out and will never change is that this business has been built on stories. It's been built on people's experiences and their desire to share with other people their results. And that's really what it is. I mean, we've got our OGX line that is like knocking things out right now. That line we launched, not last September, the September before that in 2016. And I can tell you, it has been going gangbusters. We have had results coming out of everywhere. There's pictures all over social media. You can see it if you're plugged in anything there. And we want to hear your stories. We've been having some great, there's nothing better that I feel for myself and Rhonda. There's nothing better than us being able to simply share with people products that they already are using, so they already want, that they definitely need because they need to have that, that health component that we have inside of our product that, you hear about all the time called Ganoderma. And of course, we have the products that people can afford because really what I believe inside of our business is that you actually make money. You make money by using our products because you are already spending money on somebody else's product using the same things that we use every day. Coffees, teas, chocolates. We eat food every day, the types of foods that we're eating. What are we paying for those? What are they doing to our bodies? What are the effects of that? So on and so forth. So, I mean, in actuality, by you using the products that Organo has available for you to create that healthier lifestyle, you're actually not saving money, you're actually making money. Because I know one thing's for sure, ladies and gentlemen, is that, you hear lots of people talking about, you got to save money and you got to protect yourself for the future. And all of that is very true. And you've got to be smart with it. But you know what, really, ladies and gentlemen, who really likes to save money? Now, we like spending money. I like to spend money. Of course, you have to have money to spend money. So what if by simply changing your brand of hot beverage, maybe if you've got active kids like I do that are drinking energy drinks all the time, well, now my kids are drinking the OGX, the DX, and the XT line because it's better for them, and I'm buying them for them, and I'm actually making money from them. So I feel better when they're using those products, and maybe you will as well. So that's what I truly believe is, is so powerful about what we have inside this business. And always remember this, is no matter how you build this business, whether you build it slow, you build it fast, you don't build it at all, as you connect people to products, as you connect people to more of our products, people stay with the products longer because they like the way it tastes and they love the way it makes them feel. And it's very competitively priced. And in most cases, it's much lower priced than the products that they were using before. So continue with that attitude and continue with that strategy going forward to saying, look, what interests you most about, what we've talked about today, the products, the opportunity, or both. See, our business has been built on conversations over coffee, because coffee is a perfect relationship management product. And I can tell you, you build relationships, you build diamond ships, you build friendships, and your business and your lifestyle and your life will never be the same. I don't know if you knew this as well, but our business, Organo, for people that might be coming onto the call that may be the first time or you listen to this on the replay, is, Organo is a 10-year-old company, as I mentioned before. And inside of that 10 years, we've done over $2 billion in gross sales worldwide and have done business in over 50 countries worldwide. And it's amazing when you think about, the way that the business has changed for us. Now, Organo today, back in the day, we used to call it Organo Gold. And I'm going to show you some things here. It's going to be kind of interesting. But today we call ourselves Organo. And what is Organo? We are a healthier living company. We offer delicious, safe, and effective products designed for daily use to support a healthier lifestyle. And we provide a global opportunity for you to achieve your financial goals and dreams. Isn't that cool? Isn't it awesome to know what Organo really is about? Now, again, I'm grateful. Today I've got a couple of subjects that I want to speak about when I get into my training. And I want you to know that, I know that in most cases, people who are listening to this are not going to remember most of the things that are spoke about today. Especially if you're on it for the first time, or you've only been on a couple of times, or you're one of the people that maybe pops on every now and then, or you're listening to it at a different time. You're not really going to remember everything that you hear in these calls, but I guarantee you are going to remember how you feel when you get on the call, when you're listening to the call, and when you're done with the call. And that feeling, ladies and gentlemen, is what the goal of these calls is about. It is just to interrupt a little bit, just maybe interrupt and to instruct a little bit more about what you can do on a daily basis to create the habits to create your own success. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it's a very, very easy explanation. Success is your fault. That's right. When you become successful, you did it. You're the one who's going to be recognized for it. You're the one who's going to live that healthier living lifestyle. You're the one who's going to live free. You're the one that's going to become an example for other people. You're the one that is going to be living the life you choose, not the life you have to. See, most people that I speak to, they work, but they don't love what they do. They work because they have to. What if while you're working, because you have to, you actually have an additional stream of income, something that actually feels good, makes other people feel good, and you get to build relationships and you get to become better. Some say that the largest room for the largest room in the world is a room for improvement. Everybody every day needs to improve a little better. And this call is the Millionaire Mentorship call. And mentorship is, examples. It's coaching. It's giving you, see, the people who get onto these calls, the great speakers that get on, we had Sam Bean last week, and before that we had Coach Hill, and of course we had Dr. Bob Rakowski and Holton Buggs, the CVO, the Chief Visionary Officer of the company. He actually started this platform, this Zoom platform, and each one of them, shared with you some very powerful $1 million information that, if applied, absolutely can create the success that you picture. And that's what I like to speak about today. I like to talk about a very important thing that we all need to develop. And I know we all have it, because we've all been, at one time or another, we were all born. Yes. How many of you, have ever been children? Yeah, that's all of us. And I remember as a child, I remember always dreaming and always making things up, because I had this massive imagination. And I always believed and I always dreamed that, that I could take an empty box and I could turn it into a spaceship, or I could be in the bathtub and it was a submarine. See, I had this amazing imagination, and I always dreamed of childish things. But you really, when you think about it, how important is an imagination in your life? Sometimes we get to a point in our lives where we do so many things we have to do that we forget that we have this ability to dream and to imagine at all. Inside of Organo, what I have been so grateful for is the fact that people have shown me how to dream again. They have given me the opportunity to use my imagination, to dream bigger, to dream faster, and really make it become profitable. And for me, that's one of the greatest things in this business. And I'll share a story with you. It was Miss Marianne Node in June 2008. Now, Miss Marianne Node, at the time was a single mother of three, growing kids. Her children are growing now. And she was a business owner, and she struggled. There's no, you've probably heard her story. If you haven't, you can look that up on OGA, and you can hear her story inside of some of the master training videos that we have inside of Organo Gold Academy. And you can take some time to listen to her story, because it's an amazing story. And the influence that we have, with her, and the trust that she had in us, really launched this business for us and took it where it is today. And now I imagine how much bigger it's going to be tomorrow. We've gone through 10 years, and usually what they say in business is that first 10 years is, really what they say is the first 5 years is that, that pivotal, critical point in business. My background before being a professional network marketer was in the, oil and gas and construction industries. And I did that for decades, about 3 decades. And together with my wife, we owned and ran businesses, whereas we invested a lot of capital, took a lot of risk, all of our time, and we took a risk. And we built businesses based on solid business models so that it could create a lifestyle of freedom for us. See, we came from the school, probably the same school that you did, where we were taught to, get a good education, so that you could get a good job or start a business and work hard in that business, put all of your time, energy, and capital into those businesses. And if you're smart enough and you work hard enough and you're lucky enough, then you can probably, try to make a solid living out of that. And I can tell you that, we worked hard and we did well. And maybe we did better than most businesses ever do. But I can tell you right now, we paid a price for that freedom. And that price was, my wife and I in June will have been married 27 years. Our oldest son, Jackson, he's going to be 14 in June. So, one of the prices we paid in the early days of being together is that we put our family off. We didn't start a family because we wanted to focus our attention on, getting money out of the way. We've always believed that our success was our fault, and that's a strategy we've always had and we'll always share with people. And we've always believed that businesses were run through systems, and people ran systems. So we always focused our attention on building people to run systems. But the price we paid for that was all of the time. We were building businesses so that we could have time freedom to be able to do what we wanted with who we wanted, whenever we wanted. But what we found was we had no time to do the things that we dreamed about, because we were always working inside of the businesses. And then when Miss Marianne Node came to the house back in June 2008, and she had an idea. See, she's a great storyteller, and we really did. We had a really great relationship with Marianne. We really trusted her. We liked her, and she really shared with us a dream, a vision. And that's today what I want to speak about is what does it look like today? But what could it look like tomorrow? And see, the great advantage that you have being on this call here today, ladies and gentlemen, is this is 10 years old. So, we've got 10 years of results, evidence that shows that it's possible, that everyday average ordinary people like myself, like you, like the people that are going to listen to this later, it's possible. Because, an old saying goes like this. It says, the cure of all doubt, evidence is the cure of all doubt. You got doubt? Well, show me the evidence. Well, I'm going to share with you a quick story, and then I'm going to get into my lesson. Imagine 10 years ago, a friend of yours comes over to your house and says to you, look, I would appreciate if you could put aside a little bit of time, because I have something to talk to you about. I got something to share with you that I believe is going to be really big. And so, okay, well, I'm sure you've all got friends and you've all got people that might, that you would consider, that could happen. Now imagine 10 years ago, a friend of yours comes over to the house and she says, look, a friend of hers, two friends of hers actually, one named Bernie Chua and another gentleman named Shane Moran. These were friends of Marianne Nodes. And she said, these are two business partners of mine that I really believe we can do some great things with. And then she went on to explain that, they have found a way to put health into the habit. Or as she explained it back then, stealth health. And I was like, what is stealth health? What are you talking about? She says, well, you know what coffee is, don't you? And I'm like, yeah, I know what coffee is. Everybody knows what coffee is. Are you kidding me? See, this wasn't back in the day, ladies and gentlemen, when we had 4 questions or 4, steps. We didn't have nothing. We had the idea and the imagination that one day, and this is what Shane Moran told me. He told me this very early on in 2008 when I first met him. He said, Steve, we are going to fill stadiums of people and we're going to parade them across the stage and we're going to celebrate their successes when they become free using this. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you're privy to seeing a replica of the first sample of coffee that we received in our house 10 years ago. So you can imagine that there was some doubt. Number 1, I didn't drink coffee. Number 2, I knew nothing about the industry of network marketing, traditional businessman. Rhonda, on the other hand, she drank coffee. So she had a little bit more of a belief in the product itself, but really, again, had no experience in the network marketing industry. Now, Rhonda had some experience from friends of hers who were always asking her to support them in some of the other marketing businesses that they were in. For instance, like, they would sell candles or spices or KitchenAid tools, or they would sell oils or something, anything like that, or jewelry or anything like that. And the great thing about Rhonda is that she cares so much about people, and she cares so much about making a difference and help people. She would always support her friends when they asked, look, would you just support me by buying this, that, or the other thing? And she always would. She would never go to the meetings, but she would always send a check, and she would always say, look, please send me something that this $50 or $100 will this help you? So she always did that already. And when she saw this sample, and her first question was, where's the coffee? And see, the first challenge was this. And now you gotta think to yourself, you gotta start to believe a little bit more. Where's the coffee? I mean, isn't that a great question? When we look at what we do today, we ask people a simple question. Do you or anyone drink coffee, tea, hot chocolate? Well, at least occasionally. Maybe you don't drink it all the time, maybe occasionally. See, she didn't ask us that because, well, this package was actually empty. So, see, Marianne got this package from Shane Moran, and she drank the sample. It was the sample. It was the only sample. So Rhonda could smell the business. It smelled like coffee. And this is a pivotal point in our business, ladies and gentlemen. And maybe, one time in your life, or maybe this has already happened to you, you've come to a crossroads and you didn't really know it was a crossroads. You didn't know how important of a decision it could be. But this is what she said. She said, yes. I said no. I said no. In fact, I said, I think you're probably both crazy. And I kind of heard about those businesses. And I also heard that, you're probably going to get in trouble. I think I said something like, I'll make sure you guys don't go to jail. But Rhonda made a decision based on this. She said, what if, this is big, write this down. What if it works? And I say no. See, everybody gets coffee. Everybody gets our products. Everybody's already using what we have. We don't have to sell it. See, Miss Mary, I know she didn't sell the coffee. She didn't sell the business. What she did is she shared the vision. She had the imagination to share the idea. That's what we are connected to. So when you're out there, ladies and gentlemen, and you're sharing your products, you know, our products today look much different than they did in the early days. You know, we have beautiful packaging now. We have state-of-the-art facilities around the world that produce this amazing brand of coffee, tea, or chocolate, the other products that we have to offer people. And we really have products people want, need, and can afford. So today, in my opinion, is the greatest time to be part of this business, because the question always is this: do you drink coffee, tea, chocolate, at least occasionally? You do. Wow. When are you going to stop? You're never going to stop. So you're telling me you're never going to stop drinking coffee, tea, or chocolate. You're never going to stop eating food. You're never going to stop wanting to feel better. You're never going to stop, desiring a little bit more money. You're never going to stop wanting more freedom. None of that's ever going to stop. So what you're telling me is that I possibly have something here for you that could provide you a solution. Yes or yes? See, that's the question. And it's the imagination that you need to have. And let me get a little bit into what I want to speak about tonight. And that is imagination. Einstein, Albert Einstein, you may or may not know who this person was. Pretty smart guy. He was once asked a question. And the question was this: what can we do with our children to create seeds of greatness? Pretty cool question, right? Imagine as a parent, you had an opportunity to sit down and talk to a person of the time that was, had great credentials. And you simply ask, look, what can I do with my kids to maybe, get a little more out of them, put a little more in them. See, I learned a long time ago that my focus and my goal is not to leave my kids anything. See, I don't plan on leaving them, a fortune. But I do plan on leaving in them the ability to impact the world. See, that's a different kind of question, right? And Albert Einstein's answer to that was very simply: read them fairy tales. It's fact. You want to plant seeds of greatness in your children, read them fairy tales. So in fact, what he's saying is encourage them to use their imaginations. And when you look at imagination, it's essential in life and in business. So let's break down imagination. Let's break down that word a little bit. Imagine. Imagination. First word, image. Image. To create images. Pictures. And we know that whatever the mind can conceive, as Napoleon Hill says, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. It has to make it up first. You have to have an imagination. You have to be able to dream big things. You have to believe it. And it says in the book, Think and Grow Rich, you will achieve it. You will achieve it. Now you might. Now you could achieve it. Not maybe, probably, I hope so. You will. You'll achieve it. But you got to believe it. Imagination really is everything. It's the preview for life's coming attractions. When we picture and we use our imagination correctly, instantly your actions follow the pictures. See, the mind needs instructions. Simple. The mind needs instructions, and the best instructions you can give your mind is pictures, things that you make up and believe. Napoleon Hill, in the book Think and Grow Rich, again, the book Think and Grow Rich, this is, you'll hear a lot of people on this call every week, and other calls that Organo has, and events that we go to, they'll be speaking about this book. See, and that's our logo. We're the only company in the world ever to partner with the World Learning Center and the book Think and Grow Rich. And again, I'm grateful to our owners, our founders, our CBO, our Global Master Distributor, and our CEO, for actually making this happen in 2009. This is the greatest business manual ever constructed, ever built, and has created more success worldwide than any other publication ever. And next to the book, the one written a few thousand years ago, this one is the next best-selling book. And Napoleon Hill speaks about, has a whole chapter on imagination. And he titles it The Workshop of the Mind, and it's actually the fifth step, the fifth of 13 steps towards riches. So if the number one selling instruction manual in the world on business and in life, there's an entire chapter based on the imagination and how to shape the imagination and how to recognize and how to identify different types of imagination. It's a very important part of the lesson that we speak about, because in every day what we do, it's going to be based on our beliefs and our thoughts. Your actions follow your beliefs and your thoughts. So if you don't believe in anything, you're not going to do anything. If you don't have any, you don't have any vision, you don't dream, you're not using your imagination, you're going to have a very small life. And because you're on this call here today, I'm just interrupting the way that you might have been thinking before. Maybe somebody told you when you were growing up, stop daydreaming. No. I tell you to daydream all the time, but just don't sit there and dream. You need to move. You need to get those dreams into action, because action creates the results. First, you got to dream it, though. First, you got to picture it. And I want to talk a little bit about a story. I want to share some stories, because again, this business has been built on stories. And again, I know you may not remember everything that I'm speaking about today. You might have to go back and listen to it a couple of times. And I encourage you to do so, as well as listen to some of the other mentors that have been on this call here today, because every one of them brings a huge value to your life if you're willing to invest the time. And I want to talk about a story. And I think that it's an amazing how can I say it? I feel so privileged to be alive during this 100 years. And I think you should too. When you really think about how much has changed in our lifetimes, and you may not be 50 yet, I'm not 50 yet, but you might know people who are 50, 60, 70, 80 years old, and because I do, and I speak with them, and I ask them, it's funny, tell me about the old days. Tell me about the days when, you used to have to take a horse to school or something like that, and I joke around. But think about it, ladies and gentlemen. How much has changed in the last 50 years of our lives? And if you're not 50 yet, on your entire life. How much has changed since you have been born? I joke all the time with my kids, they've never seen a record player. They've never seen a cassette player. They've never seen a telephone on the wall. They've never seen a remote control with a cord. They've never seen these big video recorders, these VCRs, disc players. They've never seen cassette players, Discmans, Walkmans. They've never seen any of that. You know, the way they learn is so much different today than the way that I learned, which doesn't seem that long ago. You know, I grew up in the 80s, and I just remember the fun music and the fancy haircuts. Back then I had hair. Those were the good old days. But just imagine how much has changed in the last 50 years, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, just think about it a bit. Let's paint a little picture here. Let's think about the airplane. You know, I mean, it was 1903, the Wright Brothers. And, you know, you probably heard about the, you know, I'm sure you know who I'm speaking about, the Wright Brothers, who have been, labeled as the first people to really, build and fly an airplane. It was actually December 17th, 1903, that the Wright Brothers flew a plane for 59 seconds at 852 feet. 1903. So that's a little more than 100 years ago. There was no planes. And there was a breakthrough 100 years ago. But now let's fast forward a little bit. Well, let's say, okay, 1914 in the United States, the first commercial flight. And this flight went from St. Petersburg, Florida, and flew to Tampa across the bay, Tampa Bay, about 21 miles. This flight took 21 minutes. 21 minutes to fly from St. Petersburg, Florida to Tampa, Florida, across the bay. Before the first commercial flights, it used to take 20 hours to drive around the bay. They didn't have the bridges they have now. They didn't have all the connecting roads. They didn't have any of that. You take a boat, that would take about 4 hours. But, you know, just 10, 11 years after the very first plane, now people were going faster. 20 minutes. You know, the maximum speed on that plane was 64 miles an hour, and it flew 50 feet off the water. That's it. The first commercial flights in the United States. Things are changing. Do you see how the imagination, somebody had to create it so that it could become better, and you could make it better and bigger and faster. So let's jump ahead a little bit more. You know, let's talk today about, you know, say one of the fastest planes ever, the Concorde. You know, it doesn't run regularly now because of the sound, very loud, sonic boom. But that plane has been clocked at doing 1,500 miles per hour. What used to take 8 hours to do a transatlantic flight was taking 4. It got better. It got faster. The world was getting bigger and faster, and the world was becoming smaller. Back it up a little bit. What about landing on the moon? 1969. Man landed on the moon and walked on the moon. 1903. 59 seconds. 800 feet. 1969. We landed on the moon. Imagination. The world is changing. And we were, you know, this is inside of our lifetime. You might not have been born in 69 or in the 60s or the 50s or whatever, but it's close. It's relevant. We're not talking hundreds of years ago. This happened today. This is happening today. You know, do you know that, you know, the rocket, when it lifts off, you know, by the time it breaks the atmosphere, is going over 17,000 miles an hour to break through Earth's atmosphere. And on its way to the moon, it reaches speeds of 24,000 miles an hour. You know, the first commercial flight, 64 miles an hour. Now we're going to the moon, which is 239,000 miles away. That's 15 times around the world. 15 times around the world. The world's about 25,000 miles around. they can get to the moon in 2.5 days. About 60 hours. 60 hours to get to the moon. Wow. Imagination. It wasn't, it was last summer. I had an opportunity to actually visit Houston with my good friend John Secturis, and we went to the space station, or the space, the Houston, space, I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, sorry. But I got to see where they actually launched the rocket. And it was amazing. The imagination that it took for them to be able to do that. And it was really, it was amazing. And I was so grateful. I was born in 69. And I don't remember any of this, of course, but I remember studying it in school. And just to think today where we are and where we're going and how fast we're going to get there. It's amazing. And when you think about it, 24,000 miles an hour, 2.5 days to go to the moon. And this has all happened within the last 100 years, last 50 years, under 50 years. Then you think about people like Richard Branson, the billionaire, the guy that owns Virgin Airlines, and among other things. And he has now said that by 2018, between 2018 and 2043, they will actually have the availability for people, passengers, not astronauts. I guess you'd have to, physically be able to do this. But you actually can pay for a seat where you can go into space and you can circumnavigate the world, or maybe even go to the moon. Of course, that's gonna, come with a little bit of a price tag. I think they've only got. I don't think they have coach on that one. It's going to cost you between $150 million and $750 million to get a seat. But the imagination, again, things are changing. 100 years ago, 50 years ago, where were we? Where are we going? It's amazing when you think about it. 1914, it took 20 minutes to go 20 miles. 1969, it took 60 hours to go 239,000 miles. Let's think about that. 1914, you could travel about 1 minute a mile. Easy number, right? 1969, we're talking, almost 50 years ago. 400 miles a minute is how fast you can go. That was 55 years ago. Where are we going next? The questions are really endless. It all depends on your imagination. Napoleon Hill talks about two types of imagination. We have what we call creative imagination and synthetic imagination. Now, creative imagination is something that has not been invented yet. There's no evidence that what you're thinking about actually exists. So it's difficult. And it's rare that you have something that is absolutely unique and has nothing to do and has never been invented before. See, synthetic imagination is when you take something that already exists and you make it better. Kind of like in 1903, they invented the aeroplane, but in 1969, they landed on the moon. So the same concept just became better through imagination. Things got better. And in most cases, most success will be created in your life through synthetic imagination, meaning that you will just simply do things that are already being done and make them better. That's where the most opportunity is. See, we didn't invent coffee inside of Organo. We didn't invent network marketing. We didn't invent health and wellness. All we did was put it together. We didn't invent Ganoderma. All we did was put it together and make it better, and then offer it to people in a free sample of coffee. How genius is that when you really think about it? How genius is that? That one idea, that one use of our imagination to put health into the habit and share it with the masses. We don't have to sell coffee, ladies and gentlemen. People just buy it. We share it. We share our stories. Business grows. Genius. See, we didn't invent business. I've been in many businesses. And I can tell you, the most effective business model that I've ever been involved with is this one, network marketing, where we work with people to help them achieve their dreams and their goals. We become better, they become better, and together we all celebrate our freedom, because our success is our fault. We take responsibility for our success. We don't whine about lack of success. We don't have time to make excuses. We provide solutions. That's the most important thing. And when you think about the decisions we make in our lives, you know, the things that we don't think mean anything. And maybe in some cases they don't. You know, maybe you know, you've made a decision to eat better, to exercise a little bit more, and you've made a decision that you're going to work on that every day for a little while, a little bit of time, not a lot. We don't have a lot of time in the beginning. But it takes discipline. See, every day, if you do a little bit more, you will achieve more. And really, the only difference between ordinary and extraordinary is that little bit extra. You just got to do a little bit extra every day. If you're willing to work on yourself a little bit every day, you know, physically, mentally, share the product, have conversations, do the things that today make you uncomfortable, tomorrow, second nature, just becomes you, because you're going to change. I mean, if you're 100% satisfied with where you are in the world today and how you've done and you've reached your destination and everything is perfect, awesome. Congratulations. And I wish that you would share your story with us, how you did that and how you're continuing to keep doing that, because now you can influence other people as well. You know, I had a couple of other things to talk about, but I want to kind of finish off here. I've got a couple of minutes left. And I want to kind of finish off here with, you know, tonight we talked about stories. We talked about using your imagination. And again, I highly recommend that, you know, if you're not reading the book, Think and Grow Rich, you definitely need to do that. You can get copies of the branded Think and Grow Rich from Organo. If you don't have that ability today, you can find these in every bookstore all the time. You know, it is one of the best-selling books ever. And just start using it, reading it, and applying it. Simple instructions of success in here. And our business, Organo, we have built our business over the last 10 years, corporately, worldwide, off of the principles and strategies inside of the book Think and Grow Rich. So you notice the title is Think and Grow Rich, not do my own thing and grow rich, not get a job and grow rich, not get 2 jobs and grow rich, not get a business, grow a business, not sell coffee and grow rich. You know, not complain and grow rich. You know, think and grow rich. It's right here. We have the evidence of success. You just need to follow. So I want to end soon here with 3 simple steps to achieving your goals. You know, the use of your imagination is such a powerful tool that it allows you to make things better. See, there's no way for us to expect that over this last 100 years that we have been part of this world, that without imagination, things would move forward at all. People always are looking to make things better, stronger, faster, bigger, smaller, more effective. People are always going to drink coffee, tea, hot chocolate. People are always going to want to feel better, look better, have more time, have more money. They're always going to want more options. Freedom is not free, ladies and gentlemen. Today, your investment in this call, your investment in your future, that's up to you. And there's people that love you, that are depending on you to show them the way. So 3 simple steps for achieving your goals or a goal. And it is all about simplicity. You know, we talk all the time that our business is simple, it's easy. It's your health, it's your wealth, it's your freedom, it's your life, it's your dreams, it's your goals. It's everything. First step, and I talked about this in one of our team calls, but I'm going to bring it back to you all today, you know, around the world. First step is to simply write it down. Write down your goal. Simple. Do it now. It doesn't have to be the big, you know, it doesn't have to be all the goals. It just has to be a goal that you're going to achieve, something that means something to you. Write it down in detail. Give it a timeline. Another one of the steps inside of Think and Grow Rich. Write it down. Important. Don't write it on the computer and send yourself an email or do it in a text, you know, and put it into your memos. Write it down on a piece of paper that you'll carry with you. Because step 2 is just as simple. Read it every day. Read out your goal every day. Memorize your goal every day. Read it out every day. You have to use your imagination to picture bigger your beliefs, and you have to influence your mind. Your mind only knows what you tell it. And whatever you put in your mind and tell it, your body then follows. So you need to read it every day as though it's already been completed. Influence the subconscious mind. Every day, read your written goals. Simple. Write down your goals. Detailed with a timeline. Use the right words. Not words like I hope to one day or maybe or, you know, I wish. No. Strong words. I will. I am. I have. I am living the #1 lifestyle in the world. I will live this way by helping other people to achieve their goals and their dreams. I read it every day. And the third step, this is the most important. Start with a plan. I want you to be aware of something right now is that this is where most people don't start. They might write down their goal. They might read it every day, but they think that the plan, because maybe their goal is big. Maybe their goal is to create financial freedom. Maybe their goal is to create an additional $10,000 a month in income. Maybe their goal is to, you know, to retire. Maybe their goal is to, be able to put their kids into private school. Maybe their goals are so big and so scary that they actually think that the plan has to be massive. See, the plan is this. The plan is to get started. That's the most important plan. It doesn't have to be the plan that you end with. In fact, the guarantee about that is this. The plan you start with will not be the plan you finish with. It will not. Write that down. The plan you start with is not the plan you finish with. But if you don't start with a plan, you never start. Period. You don't start, nothing changes. Simple. See, you thought this was just about selling coffee and building customers, bringing people into the business and helping them reach your goal. It's not that. This is about you getting started. Your plan needs to be simple. The focus of your plan is to start. Step 1, start. Your plan will change. And as you start to reach your goals, your plan will become more detailed. And you'll be able to add to the plan. But don't think you have to have the whole plan laid out in full, 100% start to finish. Here's my next 50-year plan. Not going to happen. Step 1, write down your goal. Step 2, read it every day. Step 3, start with a plan. The plan is to start. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been great. You know, I've really enjoyed our talk today. I really, you know, you might not know this, but you know, whether you've had a chance to speak with people or you haven't, I know that I speak with people all around the world, and I speak with a lot of the, you know, the amazing people that are on these calls every week. And I can tell you that, you know, I learn from these calls. I learn from doing the calls. I learn from listening to the calls, and I just become better every day. And what I want to leave you with is this. This is my final advice to you. And it's gonna, you know, I'm pretty straightforward. I don't like to really sugarcoat anything, because I believe that you deserve the truth. And I'm just going to tell you the truth. And everything you do, every decision you make, is either building your dream or it's building someone else's dreams. If you make success an option and not a definite, distinct direction, then I assure you it won't be an option for you. You will find a reason not to achieve your goals if you don't make it a distinct and definite direction. You'll find a reason not to even start. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, success does not create happiness. Happiness comes first. Be grateful. Stay grateful. Success is chasing you. Stop running away. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been my honor and my privilege to spend this last hour with you. I truly believe that it's been an investment in both of our times. I look forward to seeing you in all of the events, especially the international convention coming up September 1st and 2nd in Las Vegas at the Orleans Arena. If you haven't got your tickets yet, get those tickets now. Buy extras. Make sure that you believe bigger, believe stronger, believe faster, and make sure you're prepared for your success. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll leave you with that. Enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy the rest of the week. Share your stories. Be the example that I know you can be. Become great. Your success is your fault. It's your responsibility. And believe me, ladies and gentlemen, freedom is available for you. Appreciate you all. Have an amazing night. God bless. Thank you.